Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we have the Elite Series 106 Roxanne Perez. Finally, after 3 times of trying to speak and get that intro out of the way, I think we finally got it down. Of course, a pretty damn good action figure wave. I'm pretty excited. I want to try to get the Usos and the Chad Gable from this set. The Sami Zayn, I may pick it up. I don't know. I've been kind of iffy about it because I don't want a Sami Zayn like right after he split from the bloodline. But I don't know. Maybe I'll have to pick it up just to have like black tight Sammy, and maybe I'll just like remove all the logos if need be or whatever. Cause I can't remember. Is it after the bloodline or while he was in the bloodline? Anywho, that doesn't matter. Before we talk our head off a little too much, why don't we get Roxanne Perez out of her plastic prison now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the figure out of her plastic prison, we can go over the accessories first and foremost. Of course, coming with an extra set of hands, she's got a set of fist hands. It even does include the fingernail polish on the thumb, not on the index fingers, not on the fingers for the rest of the hand, but not the biggest ordeal. And of course, it does come with the Women's NXT World Champion, or whatever they call it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly too sure. I do love that it's on a white strap, though. Kinda wish the Men's NXT Championship was on a white strap or whatever, but meh, that's whatever. Great belt accessory, though. But of course, getting into the figure herself, honestly, I know she's supposed to be a fairly tiny individual, but honestly, I really was not expecting how tiny this figure was gonna be until I got her out of the box. Just to kind of get maybe like a little bit of figure comparisons in early. We've got all of the women's figures that I felt like pulling out right now. Of course, all the ones that are from the recent unboxing / reviews, along with some past reviews. As I want to say, all of these women's figures have been reviewed on the channel. I'm not too sure though. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just a big fat liar. I know if anything, one of them guaranteed is not, and that is the first ever Elite page. I don't remember what series this page was from, but I do have that. So, like, comparing her to the rest of like the roster here, and I know maybe I'm not doing like the page too much justice sitting her there, so I guess I could stand her there. There we go. Like, she is really tiny. Now that I've made a mess in the ring, I guess you could say, push all those back, getting into some of the detail on this figure. You've got all the like little lace strap designs going up through the sleeve on the arms. Of course, double jointed arms. Same thing on this sleeve, but it doesn't connect all the way up into her top like it does on the right arm. Nice, almost like referee-esque looking attire, along with all the different like colors and stuff from, I'd say this is like a NXT 2.0 like referee wannabe looking attire. I don't know, either way, it's still really nice. Got nice green lace like straps on the boots, along with like belt buckles going across the kick pads. Is there, oh, there, it does look like there's actually lace design going around the other side of the kick pad, or the interface of the kick pad. That's actually kind of neat. So, her boot mold is actually fairly cool. Of course, her lower half to her attire is essentially the same look as the top. It's just got the paint splatter and stuff like that going around. Of course, got 2 stripes going across the back. And if you didn't notice, because I didn't really notice this when we were looking at the sleeve, She does have like a lace design in the back of her top, along with the same stripe pattern going up into like her armpit area. If you move the hair a little bit, she's got the same stripes going across the front. Hopefully she'll stand a little bit better for the rest of the review. Same thing on both sides, got all the splatter effects. You know, this is a really cool figure all around. Talking about the hands real quick, because I know we mentioned it on the alternative hands. She's got all of her fingernails painted. And getting into the head scan, I think it looks enough like Roxanne Perez. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I could almost kind of see maybe like a smiling Selena Vega with different hair. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like I said, I don't know, it looks enough like Roxanne Perez for me not to think otherwise. From a distance, you could almost maybe say it kind of looks like Melina. So, I don't know, there's a couple of different names there. But it still looks really good. Getting a quick gander back at the lower legs, because I did notice it. I think the lower legs are a different skin tone to kind of replicate the idea of like fishnets or whatever. I don't know exactly what they call that, like lace thing that women wear, but yeah, it is definitely a bit more noticeable on the camera now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, you know, with that being said, why don't we kind of get her all posed up with maybe some of the other women's figures, and we can just kind of give our final thoughts, shall we? Alrighty, now that I've got the Roxanne Perez all posed up, you can see kind of what I would envision like a women's roster maybe looking like right now, with all the women's figures I have that I am willing to use as wrestlers, because I do have Scarlett as well. I'm not really willing to use her as anything more than a manager until they maybe give her an in-ring attire to use, like action figure wise, but not in too much of a rush to see it happen either. I do also technically have the Bellas. I don't plan on using them, was never really the biggest fan of them. I also have Eve, Torres, and Natalia. Maybe I'll use Natalia, but Eve, I'm not really too interested in her either. I'm not a big fan of like most of the women from the Divas era. Like, I am a fan of a few of them, especially more of like the earlier Divas era, like Lita and Trish. So I wouldn't mind getting figures of them eventually, but that's besides the point. What is kind of on the point here is just how good this figure is all around. Straight out the gate, aka straight out the box, she poses very well. She may not have a whole lot of accessories, but I don't think she really needs a whole lot of accessories. She's a very unique figure already on her own as far as scale goes. So, yeah, with that being said, what would I rate this figure? Though I do kind of wish there was a little bit more on the accessories end, I'm going to say this is a good solid 8 out of 10. She's a fairly solid figure. Little bit to like desire on accessories. Maybe she could have come with like an entrance jacket of some sort. Of some sort. So sorry for the little cough there. And I don't know if she did wear an entrance jacket when she wore this attire, so maybe I'm just kind of pulling something out of my ass because I would have liked to see something like extra with this figure, but it's kind of just whatever. As far as the Meltzer rating, I guess we could say a good solid 4 out of 5 stars. Because you could say a good 4.5 is kind of like almost like a 9. But with that being said, I don't want to hold this video up too long. So if you like the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, that's alright. Sorry if you didn't, but if you did like the video, feel free to check out some of my action figure reviews, some of my unboxings, and or some of my pig-fed content, as I do all 3 of them. The pig-fed We are currently getting into Absolute Carnage right after the next review. If you haven't been keeping along, we are going to be reviewing that Jon Moxley chase. Sad to see it get taken out of the package, as it is technically my first chase, but I'm planning on maybe using it for Absolute Carnage, and or I could say screw it and just use the head scan on it and put it onto my custom Moxley. But I almost kind of want to use this, see if it poses well, and if it does pose well, I'll use it in the pick fed maybe. Anywho, with that being said though, if you wouldn't mind, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. And we are on the road to 200 subscribers. As of recording this, we are currently sitting at 174. So if you are seeing the number being higher, maybe we've started to reach our goal a little bit more. And if it's still there, like I said, it would help if you want to subscribe. And also feel free to go follow the Instagram under the same name. I do tend to post updates and kind of behind the scene-esque pick fed content, aka you'll see certain shots from matches early and stuff of that nature. Sometimes I may post promos and stuff up on there, but I try to keep the fed mainly on YouTube, so you won't see anything in its entirety unless it's here on YouTube. So I do highly recommend, if you're into pick fed content, watch it here on the YouTube channel as far as Damn Defiant Wrestling goes, my pick fed, because, Absolute Carnage, I plan on being a pretty big event, and we do also have quite a few announcements to be making as far as future events go. So, yeah, with that being said, I think we are out of here. Have a good rest of your night, rest of your morning, rest of your day. Whenever you are watching this, I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone guaranteed. And if I am, well, fuck you, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we are out of here. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. And peace out, yo.